We've got another disruptor to talk about this morning, and it could potentially be the next big thing in the tech world. We mean this, computing without touching anything. When I say anything, I mean no mouse, no keyboard, no touchpad, nothing. Joining us is Leap Motion co-founder and CEO Michael Buckwald. We promoted you, Michael. You're only 23 years old. How old are you when you started this idea?
It was about 2 years ago.
2 years ago? And just to explain to the audience, because it's almost like what you see in Iron Man or the old sort of Minority Report stuff where you literally with your finger can put it up and actually control what's on the screen with significant precision.
Yeah, well, we like to think it's actually probably better than Iron Man and Minority Report. And basically the goal is to let someone reach in front of their computer and interact with it like you interact with the real world every day. So in the same way that we reach out and pick up objects hundreds of times a day, that's the experience we want to bring to a computer and let you reach in and interact like a character in Minority Report or Iron Man in this way that's really powerful. And
it has to be the coolest thing ever, Michael. You know what a massive fan I am, of course, and I'm an investor in it, but it's the coolest thing ever. I can't wait to get my own unit. In fact, I was arguing with Andy Miller last night, looking to have mine shipped to me, hopefully, in the next couple of days. So there's my plug to get it. But tell about some of the real-world applications that people are using this for. You see what's going on the screen, but some of the really great stuff that's happening.
Yeah, one of the most exciting things is the diversity of applications. So out of the box, you can control a Windows or Mac computer. And then we have developers like Autodesk who have built a way for engineers to manipulate 3D models, or the New York Times who have built a 3D news reader and video reader. Social networks like Facebook and other situations where you have a lot of complex data, like all of your friends and their photos, and you want to navigate with your hands through 3D space. And, of course, lots of applications on the gaming side. So definitely something for everyone.
How does this compare, for example, to what Microsoft has done with their Kinect business, which obviously you can control some by voice but also by motion?
Yeah, the Kinect was a great first start for the market, and it is good at tracking very broad, big movements in a living room, but it's not able to track your fingers individually, and there's a noticeable delay from when you move to when something moves on screen. And we have hundreds of times the accuracy, and because of that, we are able to track all 10 of your fingers in real time, and that lets you do things like reach out and actually grab something like you would in real life, rather than waving with these big, sort of unrealistic, tiring motions.
Michael, is it just for most of these things that I've seen in the past, there's a little bit of a learning curve where you have to learn what the computer expects you to do. Is there that sort of, you need to know how to speak the language or move the right way before you can pick up with this computer?
If we do our job right, the answer is no. A lot of other companies, like Microsoft with the Kinect, because they don't have the accuracy we do, they think about this as sign language, which you have to learn in order to control the computer.
Right.
We want to use our accuracy to make it so controlling your computer is like interacting with physical objects where they react in real time. And with that, there isn't as much of a learning curve because you already know how to interact with the world.
I used it in Michael's office, and the sensory feels that you have out of this is amazing. I had a little gaming application, and you were shooting some character on the screen, and it felt like it was it felt like it was hitting into your fingers. You couldn't tell what was going on with it. Michael, do you think this will be embedded into computers? Will the mouse just disappear, and will computer manufacturers lay this into it?
It's definitely going to be embedded into computers. We already announced a deal with HP to embed this in some devices, and we have other partnerships like that, both on the laptop side in the near term as well as in the future in things like tablets and smartphones and potentially even TVs.
Michael, real quick, when you said TVs, that's what I was thinking of. Before Steve Jobs passed away, he talked about being able to revolutionize the TV. This seems to be one of those opportunities. Ultimately, from a licensing perspective, since that seems to be the business model, do you imagine hooking up with one company and licensing this exclusively so that an Apple, for example, is able to bring this technology to life on a TV? Or do you see yourself almost like a nuance in terms of voice recognition where it's basically licensed to anybody and everybody?
Well, Our business model is actually a hybrid. So we build physical devices and sell them to consumers. And today, we're building a peripheral that connects to a laptop or a desktop and lets you control it. And we received hundreds of thousands of pre-orders from all over the world for that device, which is shipping on July 22nd. But we are also pursuing licensing of that same technology into devices. So we want to work with a broad cross-section of partners across these verticals, because ultimately the more eyeballs we're in front of, the better it is for our developer ecosystem.
Michael, we got to go. Just real quick, is it ever possible that we won't even have to use our hands, that somehow your technology will be able to either read my brain or at least see my eyes and know where I'm tracking and looking?
That would be great. I think that's a few years out, but as a company, we're about making you more connected to your computer, and any way we can do that is something we're interested in.
Michael Buckwald, very cool.